Ezinne donated one of her kidneys to her husband. 2 months later, he divorced her. Ezinne graduated from university at 20 years old. Immediately, she got a job at a well-established microfinance bank. From the beginning, she was hardworking, focused, and extremely disciplined. She didn't joke with her job, and within a short time, she started getting recognized for her performance. Promotion came early, then another. Ezinne was the first child of her family. She took full responsibility. She paid her siblings' school fees. She handled feeding. She supported her mother. Everything. And the most surprising part, she never complained. She had money and she was doing well. Before she turned 30, Ezinne had already achieved something big. She built her own house, a beautiful, fully furnished house. Her mother moved in immediately. No more rent, no more struggle. Her siblings were also doing well because of her support. Everything around Ezinne looked perfect, except one thing. At 30 years old, Ezinne was not married. At first, she didn't think it was a problem. She was busy, focused, and making money. But gradually, it started to affect her. Men came into her life, but they didn't stay. Some of them were intimidated by her success. Some felt she was too strong. Some simply didn't find her attractive enough to settle down with. Time kept moving. Nothing changed. Her mother started talking. "You need to calm down," she would say. "Stop acting like a boss everywhere. That's why men are running away." Ezinne would keep quiet, but deep down, it was hurting her. Then something happened that broke her more. Her younger sister, the same sister she trained in school, got married before her. Ezinne smiled at the wedding. She celebrated. She acted happy. But that night, she cried. Every night, she started praying, "God, please, give me my own husband." But nothing happened. After a while, she stopped thinking about it. "As far as I have money, I am okay," she told herself. But there was one thing she couldn't ignore: children. She wanted her own children, as she knew her biological clock was not waiting. At 36 years old, something big happened again. Ezinne got promoted to a regional manager. It was a huge achievement. Her colleagues celebrated her. Her family was proud. Her mother was extremely happy. But that night, when she got home, everything felt empty. She sat on her bed and started crying. "All these things, for what?" she said. "I have everything, but I have nobody. I want my own child." That night, she couldn't sleep. She picked her phone and started scrolling through TikTok. Then she saw a video. A woman was speaking. "Sometimes, if you want something from God, you need to make a sacrifice." Ezinne paused. A sacrifice? She started thinking, what do I have to give? Then she made a decision. She would give her 6 months' salary. The next day, she went to church. She went straight to the altar, knelt down, and laid flat on the ground. She cried, "God, I am giving you 6 months of my salary. Please, in the next 6 months, give me a husband." That same day, she transferred the money. 6 months' salary, gone. But hope came back. 2 weeks later, there was a board meeting at her company. That was where she met him, Michael. Michael was a junior staff in the same company, far below Ezinne in rank. After the meeting, as people were leaving, he walked up to her. "Wow, you look beautiful," he said. "Your dress looks really nice." Ezinne was surprised, not because of the compliment, but because someone at his level approached her so confidently. She smiled. "Thank you." She didn't think much of it. But the next morning, something changed. On her office table, there was a bouquet of roses. She called her secretary. "Who brought this?" "They deliver it, ma." No name. She picked the note. "May your day be as beautiful as you are." She smiled, blushed. That was the first time in years a man made her feel that way. From that day, it continued. Every morning, a new gift, thoughtful, consistent, and intentional. She became happy again, excited and alive. But she was curious. She wanted to know who it was. And one evening, she got a message. "I hope you like the gifts." Her heart skipped. "Finally, who are you?" she replied. "Dinner, tomorrow, 7 p.m. She agreed. The next morning, another gift came. This time, a dress, shoe, everything her exact size. She was shocked, but she didn't question it. By 7 p.m., she got ready, wore the dress, went to the restaurant, and when she got there, she saw him, Michael. She was shocked. "You?" she said. He smiled. "Yes, me." Dinner went well, very well. Michael told her he had admired her for years, that he felt she was too high above him, that because of her position, he believed she would never give him attention. Ezinne laughed, relaxed. They talked, they connected. After that night, they started talking every day. Then one Saturday, while they were taking a walk together, Michael stopped. "I want to marry you." Ezinne was shocked. "It's not even up to a month," she said. "How can you be talking about marriage?" Michael didn't hesitate. "It feels like I've known you all my life," he said. "I don't want to waste time." That night, she was confused. "This doesn't feel right," she told herself. But another thought came. "You prayed for this. This might be your answer." Then Michael sent her a message, a long one. He told her how much he liked her, how sure he was. Then he added, "If we don't get married in 1 month, I will feel like you are not ready." She felt pressured. Then her mother came in. She told her everything. Her mother became excited immediately. "This is God. This is your answer." That was the final push. The next day, Ezinne called Michael. They met at a cafe. "I will marry you," she said. Michael smiled. But there was a problem. Company policy. They couldn't work in the same company as a couple. One of them had to resign. Ezinne looked at him and said, "You know we can't both stay in the company. It's against policy." Michael didn't think twice. "Then we resign," he said. She frowned. "Both of us?" He nodded. "Yes, both of us. I have plans, something big. We don't need this job." And that was where everything began to change. Following the instructions from her fiancé, Ezinne resigned from the company. Same with Michael. It wasn't easy for Ezinne. The job was not just a job. It was her foundation, her identity, her security. But she ignored the feeling. She told herself, "This is marriage. This is the next phase of my life." The wedding happened quickly. No long planning, no deep thinking, just fast decisions. Before she could fully process it, Ezinne became Mrs. Michael. She left her mother in the house she built and moved into Michael's house. The first few days were good, peaceful, exciting and new. But it didn't take long for small cracks to appear. Michael would get irritated easily over small things. "This is not your office," he would say. "You can't control me here." Ezinne would go quiet, apologize and adjust. She told herself marriage is not perfect. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Then reality started showing. Michael was not working, at least not in any visible way. Every time she asked, he would say, "I am working on something, just give me time. Big things are coming." Ezinne believed him at first, but slowly, everything started falling on her. Food, bills, house expenses, everything from her savings. The same savings she had built for years. Money started going fast. Time passed. Then one day, Michael came home excited. Ezinne said, "I have an idea." She looked at him. "What is it?" "Let's start our own company." "What kind of company?" Ezinne asked. "A microfinance company," he said. It made sense. They both had experience. "It is a good idea," she said, "but it will require a lot of money." Michael nodded. "We will figure it out." That night, Ezinne couldn't sleep. Her savings were almost gone. Alone, she was thinking, but what collateral would she use? Then in the middle of the night, Michael woke up. "I have thought about it," he said. Ezinne turned to him. He looked at her directly. "What if we sell your house?" "My house?" "Yes," Michael said. "Your mom is the only one living there. It's too big. Why don't you rent a smaller apartment for her and we will use the money to start the business?" Ezinne stared at him. "No," immediate and firm. "I can't do that." Michael frowned. "Why? That house is the reason I worked so hard," she said. "I built it so my mother can be comfortable. I can't take that away from her." Michael's expression changed, and that was when everything shifted. "So you don't want my progress," he said. Ezinne blinked. "What?" "You heard me," continue. "You don't want this family to grow." "That's not true," she said. But he didn't stop. "You like things the way they are. You want me to depend on you forever." His voice got sharper. "You enjoy being the breadwinner. You want to control everything." The words hit her hard. She was quiet, confused, and hot. Am I the problem, she thought. She didn't argue. She didn't fight. She just kept it inside. Then something happened. Ezinne started feeling sick, weak and tired. No appetite. At first, she ignored it. But when he continued, she went for a test. The result changed everything. "You are 6 weeks pregnant," the doctor said. Ezinne froze. Then tears filled her eyes. At 37 years old, she was finally going to be a mother. She rushed home. "Michael, I am pregnant," she said. Michael paused, then nodded. "That's good." Ezinne's smile faded slightly. "That's all?" she asked. Michael sighed. "Why should I be excited?" he said. "A child is coming and I don't have money." Her heart sank. Then his stool changed. He held her hand. "Listen," he said softly. "You have spent your whole life taking care of your family." Ezinne looked at him. "But now think about yourself. We need to give this child the best life." Then he said it again. "Sell the house." This time, it sounded different. Not harsh, but necessary. Ezinne was quiet. Now, it wasn't just about her mother. It was about her child. And slowly, she agreed. She went to her mother's house. "Mama," she said, "I want to renovate the house." Her mother frowned. "Then let them renovate. I can stay." "No," Ezinne insisted. "It's a big renovation. I have rented a place for you." Her mother looked confused. "What kind of renovation is this?" "Just trust me," Ezinne said. Her mother didn't argue. She packed her things and moved into a smaller apartment without knowing that she had just lost her home. Ezinne sold the house. Everything she built, everything she worked for, gone. She took the money and added it to Michael. "Let's start the company," she said. And just like that, she gave him everything. They started the company. At first, it was small. Just the two of them, 2 staff, and a small office. But Ezinne knew the business. She understood structure, operations, and customer handling. Even while pregnant, she worked. Long hours, meetings, planning. She didn't slow down. Michael was involved too, but most of the structure came from Ezinne. The company started growing. 2 staff became 4. 4 became more. Within a short time, it became a proper business. For the first time since she got married, Ezinne felt hope again. Then she gave birth, her first child. Everything paused for a moment. She held her baby and felt complete. But life didn't slow down. 3 months later, she got pregnant again. Now everything became overwhelming. Motherhood, pregnancy, business, and marriage, all at once. She was tired, but she kept going because in her mind, this is the life she prayed for. Then something changed. Ezinne started noticing one of the staff. Her name was Lillian, a young girl. At first, it was just small things, mistake, carelessness, repeated errors. Ezinne corrected her calmly and professionally. But nothing changed. The same mistakes, again and again. One day, Ezinne went to Michael. "I think we should let her go," she said. Michael shook his head. "No." Ezinne frowned. "She's not improving. I have corrected her several times," she said. "She will learn," Michael replied. "She is useful." Something about that response felt off, but Ezinne ignored it. Days passed. Then Lillian's attitude changed. No respect, no greeting, short responses. One day, Ezinne called her. "Why don't you greet me properly?" she asked. "I am your boss." Lillian looked at her. "No fear. If you are my boss," she paused. "Why haven't you fired me?" Ezinne was shocked. "What did you just say?" "You heard me," Lillian replied. "That was it. You are fired," Ezinne said immediately. "Pack your things and leave." Lillian didn't move. Instead, she said, "When my boss tells me that, I will leave." And she walked out. Ezinne stood there, confused, humiliated. And when Michael came in, she went straight to him. "I fired Lillian," she said. Michael looked at her. "Why?" "She disrespected me," Ezinne replied. "And she said I don't have authority." Michael's face changed. "You don't." Ezinne blinked and said, "What?" "You don't have the right to fire my staff," he said. "Only I do." That word hit her. "My staff, not our company." She wallowed. "Then, I am telling you now," she said. "She disrespected me, your wife. Fire her." Michael shook his head. "No." That was when Ezinne knew something was wrong. And from that day, she started watching and observing the way Michael defended Lillian. The way Lillian spoke without fear. It didn't add up. Then one night, everything became clear. Michael was in the bathroom. His phone lit up again and again. Ezinne stared at it. Her heart started beating fast. She didn't want to check, but she could not ignore it. She picked it up. A message opened from Lillian. Her chest tightened. When are you coming? I miss you. Ezinne froze. She scrolled. More messages. Not work, not business, but personal and intimate. Then she saw more. Photos, messages that crossed every line. Her hands started shaking. Her breath became uneven. And in that moment, something inside her broke. Not loudly, silently. The same man she sacrificed everything for was living a different life. Ezinne didn't wait. She confronted him. I saw your messages, she said. Michael got angry immediately. You went through my phone, he snapped. Just because you know my password. She stared at him. You are cheating on me, she said. He didn't deny it. I have needs, he said coldly. Look at you. His eyes moved over her body. You are always pregnant and tired. Then he said it. You are not even good in bed. That was it. Ezinne didn't argue. She didn't shout. She just cried. That night, she laid on the bed, staring into darkness. God, she whispered, is this what you gave me? And for the first time, she thought, I was better off alone. After the night, nothing was the same again. Ezinne didn't argue anymore. She didn't question him. She didn't expect anything. She just existed. She gave birth to her second child through surgery. Her body was weak. Her heart was heavier. When Ezinne recovered a little, she told him, I want to go back to work. Michael shook his head. No. She frowned. What do you mean? You are a wife now, he said. Stay at home. Take care of your children. Ezinne's chest tightened. That company is ours, she said slowly. Michael laughed. Ours? Then his face changed. I am the owner, he said. You only brought the money. That moment hit her deeply. Everything she sacrificed reduced to nothing. Then give me my money, she said quietly, so I can rebuild my house. Michael waved it off. I will give it to you. But he never did. Instead, he started living differently. Clubs, parties, trips, spending money freely. Meanwhile, Ezinne stayed at home, taking care of the children. Sometimes she would ask him for money. I need something for myself, she would say. Michael would laugh. What do you want to buy? Nothing will ever look good on you. Focus on your children. That's your job. Those words broke her slowly. One day, she couldn't take it anymore. She sat on the floor in the living room and cried. That was how her mother found her. The moment her mother saw her, she knew something was wrong. What is it? She asked. Ezinne tried to speak, but the words came out broken. She told her everything. The cheating, the insults, the control. Then finally, she said it. I sold the house. Her mother froze. You did what? Tears rolled down Ezinne's eyes. We needed the money for the business. Her mother stepped back slowly. You sold your house because of a man. Then her mother's expression changed. Regret. I am sorry, she said. I pushed you. Ezinne shook her head. No, Mama, it was my choice. Her mother hugged her tightly. Just focus on yourself and your children, she said. But both of them knew, as long as she stayed in that marriage, nothing would be okay. Then something happened. One evening, Michael came home weak, sweating, tired, unstable. What's wrong? Ezinne asked. I am fine, he said. Just stress. But he wasn't fine. Days passed, it became worse. He was tired and drowsy. Then one day, his leg became swollen. That was when he went to the hospital. Tests were run. 2 days later, the doctor gave him the results. Your kidneys are failing. Michael was shocked. What can I do? He asked. You need a kidney transplant, the doctor said. If not, you won't survive. Michael didn't know what to do. He came home, stayed in his room, didn't talk, didn't eat. Ezinne noticed. She went to meet him. What's wrong? She asked. I am fine, he said, but she knew he wasn't. The next day, Michael wasn't at home. Ezinne was cleaning. She saw his office bag. Something told her to check. She opened it and saw the results. Kidney failure. She froze. Her hands started shaking. From that moment, she thought, is this punishment? Then she shook her head. God, please forgive him, she whispered. Michael came back. She told him, I saw your results. He got angry. Why did you check my things? But Ezinne stayed calm. You don't have to go through this alone, she said. We are husband and wife. Michael broke down. There is nobody for me, he said. No family, no donor. Then Ezinne said it. What if I check if I am compatible? Michael froze. You will do that? She nodded. We are one. I will do it. For the first time, Michael cried. He apologized for everything. Ezinne believed him. Weeks later, the result came out. She was compatible. Michael was happy. Ezinne smiled, not because she was happy to lose a part of herself, but because she believed this would fix her marriage. She went to tell her mother. Her mother shouted immediately, Are you mad? After everything he has done to you? Ezinne stayed calm. What if this changes him? She said. What if this is how God restores my marriage? Her mother looked at her in disbelief. Ezinne, this is not wisdom. But Ezinne had made her decision. It is my choice, she said, and that was it. She signed the form, prepped for surgery, laid on the hospital bed, and gave him her kidney. After the surgery, they were placed in the same room. Michael changed, or at least, he acted like he did. He became soft, attentive, caring. For the first time, he treated Ezinne like she mattered. Ezinne believed it. She told herself this was the sacrifice. This was what fixed everything. 1 month later, they both recovered. Michael went back to work. Ezinne told him, I want to return too. Michael shook his head. Not yet. Rest. 3 months. She agreed. She trusted him again. One day, she asked for money. I want to take care of myself, she said. I want to look good again. Give me 5 million naira. Michael laughed silently. You want 5 million naira just like that? She frowned. It's not just like that. We spent money on the surgery. He cut in. The company is not stable. Be patient. She nodded. Okay. She didn't argue. That evening, Michael dressed up. I'm going out, he said. Where? She asked. To see friends. And he left. 30 minutes later, his phone rang. Is this Mrs. Michael? Yes. Your husband had been in a terrible accident. She rushed to the hospital. Michael was unconscious. Machines attached to his body. A police officer spoke. The doctor said you should deposit money for treatment. How much? 3 million naira. I don't have it. She replied. But your husband does. And she nodded, yes, he does. Use his phone then. Ezinne replied, I don't know his password. The officer frowned. At that moment, the phone rang. He picked it. Hello? A female voice. Baby, where are you? I have been waiting. Ezinne froze. The officer interrupted. He is in the hospital. I am coming. The call ended. The officer turned to Ezinne. Please wait somewhere else. She walked away quietly. Not long after, Linia arrived, worried, familiar, and comfortable. The officer explained everything. We need money. I don't have it, Linia said. But he does. Do you know his password? Linia answered yes, without hesitation. Ezinne heard everything, every word. The password was given. The money was transferred. After everything, the police officer walked to Ezinne. He handed out the phone, and this is the password, he said. Ezinne looked at him. Thank you. That small moment changed everything. She stayed in the hospital that night. The next day, she went home. She cried in the shower, cried for everything. Then she saw it, a file under the wardrobe. She brought it out, opened it. Divorce papers, already signed, 2 months ago. After she gave him her kidney, Ezinne went silent. No tears, just clarity. She picked his phone, checked his account, 200 million naira. The same man who said there was no money. She transferred everything and left only 3 million. Then the hospital called. He is awake. She said, I am coming. At the hospital, she acted calm. Thank God you are awake, she said. Michael explained the accident. He lied. She didn't react. Then the doctor called her. Your husband will never walk again. He is paralyzed. Ezinne laughed. Then she went back to the room. Michael looked at her. What did the doctor say? You won't walk again, she said. He broke down. My life is finished. Ezinne stood there, calm, still. I was a complete woman before I met you, she said. I had a life. I had peace. I gave you everything, my money, my home, my body, even my kidney. She brought out the divorce papers, already signed. She placed them beside him. You want a divorce? She said. I have given it to you. I have signed. I am not angry, she continued. I am just done. For the first time, I am choosing myself. And she walked out. Ezinne got to her mother's house. The moment she stepped in, she couldn't hold it anymore. She collapsed, crying. Not the quiet kind, the deep and painful kind. Her mother rushed to her. Ezinne, what happened? But she couldn't speak. She just cried. Her mother pulled her into a tight hug, and Ezinne buried her face in her mother's chest. Then suddenly, everything went silent. Ezinne opened her eyes. She was on her bed, her room, no hospital, no children, no marriage, nothing. Just her, breathing heavily and sweating. She sat up, looking around. Her heart was racing. It was a dream. She touched her body. She was whole, complete. No surgery, no scars. Then it hit her. Everything she saw, every pain, every sacrifice, every betrayal, it all felt real, too real. Tears slowly rolled down her face. God, she whispered. That was when she understood that wasn't just a dream. It was a revelation. She remembered the prayer, the altar, the sacrifice, the deadline she gave God, 6 months. She froze. Then she whispered slowly, I rushed God. Tears fell down again, but God showed me the end. The next day, Ezinne sat across Michael in a cafe. Michael smiled. So, have you thought about it? Are we getting married? Ezinne looked at him. This time, not with desperation, not with hope, but with clarity. And suddenly she got angry. Not loud, but deep. No! Michael blinked. No, I will not marry you. And don't ever contact me again. She stood up and left him there, confused and rejected. Life became quiet again, peaceful, no pressure, no chasing, no fear. One afternoon, Ezinne walked into a cafe, ordered coffee and sat down. Then, excuse me, she looked up. A man stood there, calm, simple and different. My name is Daniel, he said with a smile. Do you mind if I sit? She hesitated, then nodded, and that was how it started. No rush, no pressure, just conversations and friendship. Months later, Daniel looked at her, calm, certain. I don't want to rush you, he said, but I know what I want. Then he smiled softly. I want to marry you. Ezinne smiled, not out of fear, not out of pressure, but peace. This time, it felt right, and after months of dating, they got married. Sometimes, we rush God. We give him deadlines. We pressure heaven because we are afraid of time. But not everything that comes quickly is from God. Some things are counterfeits. And if you are not careful, you will call a trap blessing. But when God loves you, he will show you. He will reveal what your eyes cannot see, so you don't enter what you cannot survive.